So I'm here this morning to talk about one part of our strategic planning process, but I also want to share a little bit about my personal experience that I've had on my own faith journey with this church. The team I represent this morning is the Children's Strategic Planning Team. On that team are Jesse Leffelman, Kari Seelan, Janet Thompson, Diane Alquist, Denise Likes, Mary Kay Walsh, and Liz Nickerson. It was a great team. We were in charge of creating ideas to address the need to grow the membership of young families and children and to connect them with God and to each other. This team worked so hard and so creatively. Jesse Leffelman, our children's elder, provided us with great research on today's families. Kari Seelan and Jesse both spoke to many families and asked them directly, what might they be looking for to fulfill their faith journey and what keeps them from coming to church? So families do want to connect to God and they want to serve their greater community, but it's no surprise that they are involved in so many activities that they're incredibly busy. Life as we know it makes it hard to get to church on Sunday. But there are some solutions and some suggestions and some real needs that we think our church can offer our community and to our young families. When I was first attending this church, really just visiting, Nicole was about 3 and Natalie wasn't born yet. We experienced a horrible loss. We lost a pregnancy. It was incredibly sad. I was afraid I might be too late to have a second child. But I was pretty old for a mom already by then. It was during this time that I attended a Wednesday night, an Ash Wednesday service. I connected with God that night. I prayed, and soon after, and 9 months later, Natalie was born. Sorry, I didn't know I was going to cry up here. That alternative service during the middle of the week and at night is exactly one of the new initiatives that our group is suggesting. Creative options and alternative worship services for young families and all people is high on the list of suggestions from coming out of our research. In order to create and maintain this kind of dynamic experience for young people, we absolutely need a full-time children's director. The council, along with our personnel team, sorry about that. So the council, along with our personnel team, have approved this position. This position would combine a children's director and a part-time teacher from our PBO program. This makes it a full-time position and hopefully much easier to fill and find a person who wants a full-time job. So our PBO program, our Parents' Day Off, has been filling a need in our community for years. Elders in the past knew then what we know now. Parents need a break. Families are looking for peace and respite in this crazy, fast-paced world. Another fact that was discovered during research and supports what we already know, PDO is another reason why our family is part of this church. So there's Natalie, and next to her is Will Beals. That's Jane and Richard Beals' son. And we met at PDO, and they're taking a nap on the right. That's one of the buggies that you see downstairs from our PDO group. So it was a really important part of our church family to be a part of that PDO program. Jessie Leffelman, who's our children's elder, her children are in the PDO program as well. So I guess that's, I want to look at that all day, right? So we'll blow it up and put it out in the lobby. Is that okay, Natalie? All right. So another part of my story, and maybe the real reason why we joined this church, was because my children's grandparents were here. Bill and Mary Kay Walsh and all the grandparents are a key part of our faith connection. Don't underestimate the power of that relationship with your own grandchildren and with all the children in this church. So just to recap quickly, 1, we need an alternative service. something non-traditional, but a spiritual experience for people. 2, we absolutely need a full-time children's director. And so now to 3, we really think that our building and our landscaping could do some tweaking, just a wee bit of updating. Bring in some peaceful elements and some new designs that are attractive to young people. I think we just put a 50-year roof on? 50-year, okay. So we put a 50-year roof on this building. Why not put a 50-year plan in for the rest of the campus to go along with the roof? Okay, so last but not least, we know how busy and techy our world is, and we know that families are busy, and that's not going to change. What we need is to harness this technology to make sure we are doing our absolute best to reach people, whether it be new programming or exciting worship or special events. So our 4th suggestion is that we increase our communication director's position from 8 to 22 hours. We need to track and increase the ways we are communicating to our church family and to the community at large. We need to find the most effective and creative ways to get the good news out. And the good news, that our lives are infinitely better, our world is infinitely better, and our children's lives are infinitely better because we have a relationship with God. To know and understand Jesus. So many miracles happen because people change. Our souls grow larger, and our capacity for joy and compassion and for sharing grows. And all of this because I came to church with my family.